This is the EB5 by Jason. So I dug around on Amazon to find the cheapest e-bike I could find. This is the EB5 by Jason. It was $300 with $150 shipping, $450 landed. There were cheaper e-bikes, $275 or so, but their shipping cost made their landed cost higher. The EB5 claims to get 20 miles per hour, top speed, and go 25 to 40 miles on a single battery. It's less than 50 pounds, it's super light. This is the black version. It comes in black, blue, green, orange, khaki. A lot of different options. You can add fenders, you can add rear rack. Of course, the fenders in the rear rack make the price well over $300, so we kept it as cheap as possible. Let's get into some of the features of this bike. The EB5 has a 350 watt motor, a 36 volt, 10 amp hour battery with a USB plug to charge your devices, on-off switch, and your charging port is covered by a waterproof plug. 26 by 1.95 inch tires in the front and rear. They have an on-road, off-road tread. Mechanical disc brakes with 160 millimeter rotors in the rear and the front. The front forks do have suspension. You can adjust your preload as well as lock them out. The LED headlight is integrated, no need to charge. The taillight is not integrated. It is LED, but it is charged by a USB. You have to remove it from the bike and charge it when the battery dies. The seat is quick adjustable. It is rather soft and plush. It's a good size. If you watched my unboxing video, we do have a tear in the front already from the staples in the packaging. The front tire does come off with a quick release with a Shimano 7-speed shifter paired with a Shimano derailleur. Your power and option buttons are on the left, along with a horn and your lights. It is a color LCD, and we have a quarter twist throttle. All right, we're gonna head on down to the Salt River, see how far this battery will take us before it dies. Before we do that, we gotta get up out of this park. This is a 20% grade. It is grass, so it's gonna be a little more slippery, obviously. With the 350 watt motor, trying this hill test and pedal assist 3, throttle only. I don't have a whole lot of confidence it's gonna get up out of here on its own power. I'm probably gonna have to help it, but let's see what happens. Yeah, I'm having to give it a little pedal to get it started. Yeah, there's no way this thing's getting up out of here on its own power. I'm gonna have to help it quite a bit. Let's even stand up and give it some torque. Yeah, no way it's doing that on its own. Whew, we made it. So if you're doing any sort of hill climbs, you're definitely gonna want a larger motor with some more torque. So we are headed to the Salt River now. We're gonna go ahead and do a few speed tests here with the different pedal assists. You have 3 levels of pedal assist. I'm starting this video a little earlier than we normally do because I don't have a whole lot of confidence in how far this battery is gonna take me. Let's start on pedal assist 0. Pedal assist 0, you're obviously pedaling under your own power. The bike weighs under 50 pounds, so it's not a real effort to pedal it. I'm used to 85, 90 pound bikes, e-bikes that are real hard to pedal without any pedal assist. But this is just like any other bike. The throttle is not gonna give us anything in pedal assist 0. Let's go into pedal assist 1. Pedal assist 1, we are going the same speed we were under our own power. I believe pedal assist 1 is going to get you up to 10 miles an hour and then cut you off because I don't have any power coming from the motor at all right now. And we're at 10 miles an hour. Let's actually see what the GPS says we're doing. GPS says we're going 11. The bike says we're going, oh, G says 10. Somewhere between 10 and 11. The bike says we're going 11, so the speedometer on the bike's fairly accurate. Let's bump that up to pedal assist 2. Pedal assist 2, I can feel the power come on. Or 14, 15. You know, it's not an exhilarating power, but you can certainly feel the power. Looks like pedal assist 2 is going to take us right to about 15 miles an hour on the bike at least. Oh, there we go. GPS is 15. It caught up. 14, 15 miles an hour. The bike's fairly accurate as far as the speed's concerned. And all right, we ran out of road there. So we're back in pedal assist 3. Bike says we're going 20. GPS says we're going 19. It's as accurate as you could want it to be. 20 miles per hour isn't the biggest rush, but I mean, it's going to get you with very little effort. I'm ghost pedaling right now. I'm not having to put any real effort in. I am really hoping that this bike stands up to this challenge because it is starting to get hot here in Arizona. It's the end of April. It's supposed to be 95 degrees, I believe. So I'm hoping I don't have to work too hard. But with a 350 watt motor, who knows? We'll find out. The pedal assist does take quite a bit of time to kick in when you stop pedaling. I'm not pedaling now. Pedaling. Motor. Stop pedaling. Pedaling. Motor. So it lags quite a bit. If you are trying to get moving in a hurry, if you're crossing a street, a busy street, you're going to want to use that throttle while the pedal assist catches up, because the throttle does come on immediately. Throttle, power, throttle, power. The throttle's immediate. So when I find myself at a crosswalk or red light or something, I am throttling to get going until the GPS catches, or not the GPS rather, the pedal assist catches up. The bike does feel very stable. I mean, for $300, I was expecting way less than what I'm getting out of this bike. We've got a few name brand products on it. It feels stable. I've got one hand on. I could take both hands off, and I'm comfortable. It's stable. The seat isn't the most comfortable, but I'm sure it's going to be fine for as far as the battery's going to let me to go. I wouldn't want to go 40 miles on this seat, but I can't imagine. They claim this bike will go 25, 40 miles. I imagine that 40 miles is if you turn the bike off and pedal it yourself. But we're going to find out. I don't believe we're going to get anywhere near even 20 miles, but we've gone 6 miles so far. We're missing 1 bar of battery. Let's see how we have very little wind today, which is going to really help this bike out. We're not going to have any real headwinds. I'm heading to this hill right here. Is pretty decent hill. I'm curious to see how it does up this hill. Along the Salt River, we're going to have a lot of uphills, downhills. So we're really going to put this bike's battery life and its hill climbing abilities to the test. You know, obviously we had trouble getting out of that park, but that was a special circumstance. We weren't moving. We didn't have any momentum on our side. We're going up this hill right now, and I am putting no effort in at all. I shouldn't have stopped pedaling there because, as we know, once I start pedaling again, it's going to take a minute for the motor to kick back in. But we're still going 19 miles an hour. If we pull the GPS, it probably says we're going about 18. Now we're at 20. We got up that hill, no problem at all. I was pretty nervous that that hill was going to be difficult. Like I said, it's getting warm, and I didn't want to have to work too hard. I wish I could say I'm looking for an exercise, but I'm not. And we're going 29 miles an hour by the bike. I'm tapping the brakes because now we're going 30. We're going down this hill. It could probably get up going a lot faster than this, but being a $300 bike with some cheap components on it, I don't really trust it to go much faster. That front tire comes off on me right now. I'm going to be in quite a bit of pain. Got up to about 34 there. Nothing's shaking, nothing's rattling. It does feel real smooth. I was nervous to let it get going too fast, but I didn't have any issues at all, and it didn't rattle, it didn't vibrate, it stayed nice and steady. I'm really surprised. I don't feel any motor right now at 25 miles an hour. I'm pedaling, we're losing speed, I don't feel any motor. So it obviously does have a cutoff at some point where it's gonna stop giving you power. I can't hear it. We might have a little bit of motor right now. That motor is, you know, it's not a very large motor, so it's super silent. It's a real quiet motor. You barely even know it's there. I can hear the chain clinking around because it needs to be adjusted a little bit, but I can hear the chain clinking around louder than I can hear the motor. Hit a little bit of dirt here, see how that feels, see if it's comfortable. I mean, I can swerve a little bit here and I'm not getting loose. The traction on the tires feels really good. Surprisingly, the suspension feels great. I expected to be bottoming out on the smallest of bumps on this suspension, but for your average bike rider, this suspension is gonna do just fine for you. I'm surprised. I thought it was gonna be junk. All right, so from a stop, we're gonna see if the throttle will take us all the way up to 20 miles an hour on its own without any sort of my power. We will. It is a fairly slow ramp up of power, and it might not even be a ramp up of power. It might be full power on that 350 watt motor. We're at 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, maybe 21. Oh, 21. And we're still climbing, 21.6, 21.7. Just under 21 miles an hour is gonna be our top with the throttle only. Other than running through the pedal assist levels, we are gonna leave it in pedal assist 3, give the most power that it's gonna give us a real good idea of how far you can take this battery. So I'm 6'2", and this bike is pretty small underneath me. In order to get full extension on my legs, I have to bring the seat up high enough to where I'm reaching really far to get to those handlebars. The frame's probably fine. I would just add a different stem and handlebars to it to bring the handlebars further up and out so that I could get the full extension on that seat without feeling like I'm trying to touch my toes to get to the handlebars. We're gonna pull off at Goldfield here. Get a quick braking test in. There's also a pretty rough road headed to Goldfield, so it'll really put the suspension to the test. So like I said, it's probably not coming through on camera, but this road is pretty rough. I'm bouncing all over the place. The camera's probably leveling it out pretty well, but the suspension, again, I'm blown away by how nice this suspension feels. I've got good travel. I haven't bottomed out on it yet. It feels great, and along this rough road, I'm comfortable. You know, my butt's bouncing around a lot because it's a hardtail and the seat isn't the best, but I feel comfortable on this pretty rough road. The color screen is easy to see. I've got my polarized sunglasses on and I can see it well enough. If I take them off, it's clear, crisp, it's bright. I'm kind of surprised by how well this screen works. All right, so we're gonna do a quick braking test. This is a good opportunity also to show you what I look like next to the bike. Again, I'm 6'2", just about 200 pounds on the bike. I do wish I could raise the seat up a little further, get a little bit more pedal extension. When I do that though, I'm reaching real far for these handlebars. The suspension, again, it works well. So let's do a quick braking test. We're gonna get it up to about 20 miles an hour and hit the brakes and see how well they work. No issues. The brakes work better than the traction on the tires. All right, with the braking test out of the way, let's keep on cruising down the river. Man, that delay on the motor kicking on and pedal assist is pretty obnoxious. It's tough to get used to. I'm sure once you get used to it, it's fine. You just know you gotta start off and throttle all the time. If I pedal again, stop pedaling for a second, pedal, motor. That's a long delay. Now we're going up a pretty decent hill here. You can see we're at about 18 miles an hour, slowing down, going up this hill. But I'm not putting any effort in still. I mean, the motor is having trouble keeping us at 20 miles an hour going up that hill, but I'm still not having to work for it. Now, of course, we're gonna go downhill, and we've got another pretty decent hill coming up here. We'll have some momentum coming up to that hill. But we'll see how this hill goes for us. 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17. Now I can definitely feel that I'm giving it some help here, but again, not enough to really break a sweat. 17 miles an hour going up this hill. And you know, that motor's pushing hard as that little motor can. We're at 16 miles now, and we still have 3 bars of battery. We might end up going way further than I ever expected we'd go on this battery. One thing I've noticed is that these handlebar grips are staying in place. You know, I'm putting quite a bit of weight on them because of how far I'm having to lean over to the handlebars. And they're not spinning. Oftentimes on the cheaper bikes, these will spin on you. So they've got them on there really well. All right, this hill should be pretty challenging at this point with only 2 bars of battery. The battery's draining, so we're not gonna get quite as much power out of it. It's a nice long hill. We're already down to 17 miles an hour. Once you hit these bigger hills, it does take more effort out of you to push it along. If I were to just throttle only, see where you're dropping, 15, 14, 13, it's not gonna help, it's not gonna do much for us. So you do have to put some effort in going up these larger hills. Check out that view. You can see some kayakers paddling along the Salt River. That mountain is gorgeous. Down in this valley here, that's where the ranch is, the Saguaro Lake Ranch. All right, heading down to the Saguaro Lake Ranch now. I am pretty nervous about this hill to get back up out. If you remember in my last review, I did the Rift, and that thing has quite a bit of power. I think it's 95 Newton meters of torque, if I remember correctly. And it struggled getting up out of this. Mind you, the battery's almost dead, just like this one. So it didn't have quite as much power as it typically does, but it struggled. So what we're gonna do is we'll turn around here, give the hill coming out of here a shot. I imagine we'll be standing up to get as much torque out of our legs as possible here. Yeah, look at that, it's down. We are going 9 miles an hour up this hill, but it is 9 miles an hour provided by my legs. All right, we made it. I'm out of shape. All right, we are at 23 miles. The battery is showing no bars. I am still getting power out of it, but I'm only going 16 miles an hour. That's the max it's gonna get me up to at this point. Oh, there's 17. But I got no bars. Of course, the bike would love me to pull over and stop. We are gonna take it till it dies. We're on our way back to the bridge. I'm really hoping this thing has a cutoff and shuts it off before it takes it too low. I have no idea what the voltage is on the battery right now. No idea what actual percentage of life is left on the battery right now. We're just hoping it shuts it off before it damages it too much. Okay, now we have the battery blinking at us, probably begging us to stop. It is still giving us power from the throttle, which is surprising. Usually when they get this low, it stops letting you use the throttle. But I still have power from the throttle, going 18.5 miles an hour. I don't expect it's gonna last much longer. All right, power is now pulsing. I'm getting a little bit of power and then it stops. A little bit of power, then it stops. So that's about it. That's gonna be it. We are at 24 miles. I am using all my power. We're gonna turn around, go back to the bridge and wait for the wife to pick us up. It's a cool shot though. Yeah. All right, so the claims were pretty spot on. 20 miles an hour top speed. We got 24 miles out of it. They claimed 25 to 40. Obviously 40 would be using pedal assist 1. As far as pros go, obviously the price is the #1 pro. $300 is unheard of for an e-bike that actually did as well as this one did. I'm surprised. The suspension worked well. The range was a lot longer than I expected. I didn't expect to make it as far as we did. It weighs next to nothing. It's easy to pedal when the battery does die. It's got a few name brand pieces on it. It really surprised me. It feels stable. It did really well on this test. As far as cons go, 20 mile per hour limit is fairly slow. You know, when you're used to 28 plus miles an hour on an e-bike, 20 mile per hour feels really slow. But it got us 24 miles. The seat was comfortable for about 10 miles, but my butt hurts quite a bit now. I would have to upgrade that seat. It is a little small for my size. Again, I'm 6'2". If you're shorter, smaller than 6'2", it's probably going to be a great size bike for you. Other than that, I don't really have many cons. It was packaged well. Nothing was broken or damaged. There was a few scratches, and the seat has a tear in it from the staple, but it was packaged well enough to not damage anything. The chain needs to be adjusted a little bit. The brakes work great. Now I'm giving you pros in the cons list. I am having trouble coming up with cons because for the price, for $300, I expected it to be a pile of trash. And it got me all the way to the Saguaro Lake Ranch at the Salt River and then back to the bridge at 24 miles without any issues. Brakes worked great. The power was fine enough. I feel like the people that would benefit the most from this e-bike are maybe beginners. They like riding a bicycle. They want a little extra effort coming to them from the bike. You're not going to get a ton of effort out of it. It's only going to get you up to 20 miles an hour. But you're curious if you would like an e-bike. The price point makes it easy entry into the e-bike world. Maybe younger people, teenagers, because of the speed limit. 20 miles per hour feels very safe when you're cruising down the road. Somebody in an apartment has to carry their bike up and down stairs. They want an e-bike, but they can't carry a 95-pound e-bike up and down the stairs. It's a perfect entry-level e-bike. I can't say enough that I am surprised at how much I enjoyed this e-bike. I think it's totally worth your $300. You're going to get all $300 and more out of it. If you're hesitant, I'd pick one up. I will put the link to the bike on Amazon in the description to make it a little easier for you to pick up. I'd say get one if you're on the fence.